Formula One teams do their utmost to ensure their car designs are not leaked before the initial car launch at the beginning of the season. Some teams even go as far as to only do a livery reveal at their official 2023 car launches, and other teams promise a car launch but only do a livery reveal. Red Bull is particularly cautious with their car design. Still, it now looks like the car has been leaked, with two intriguing bits of design being most noticeable, as it looks like Red Bull has drawn inspiration from an unlikely source. Stick around to learn about the details of the RB19 and what they mean for Red Bull. Red Bull has the right to be careful with their new car designs, and rightly so, as many teams copy and poach ideas from other F1 teams. I mean, Aston Martin didn't earn their nickname Green Bull for no reason. And this F1 season looks no different, with several teams now launching their cars, and the similarities between them are scary. Alfa Romeo and Haas have taken inspiration from their fellow competitors. Both teams use a Ferrari engine, and that is precisely where they have sought most of their inspiration, with Alfa also stealing some inspiration from Red Bull. The most notable changes to the Alfa Romeo around the rear of the car and the side pods, where they had changed most of the vehicle. The side pods are very similar in inlet size and shape to what we saw on the Prancing Horses car. Still, instead of going for the complete bathtub-style side pods like Ferrari, they have gone for a more Red Bull style in the form of a downwash ramp solution and a shelf approach taken with the engine cover. These changes are not only based on aerodynamic gains, with a trade-off made to accommodate a more efficient cooling system solution, with Alfa hoping to combat its 10 DNFs last season and push them up the leaderboard. Technical director Jan Mashu alluded to the fact they sought inspiration from Red Bull for the new C43, which you can see, he said. I mean, it's quite obvious, but for us it wouldn't have been possible last year. Even if we had said we wanted it, we couldn't make it, because coolers were so extreme and the rear suspension wouldn't have allowed that, he continued. Haas has also sought inspiration from Ferrari's F175 around the side pods of the car, which are sculpted with a series of gills that were typical of last year's Ferrari, but also if you look at the volume of the side pods, which tapered down in a similar fashion to the F175. Haas and Alfa both sit in the middle to lower remit of the Constructors' Championship, and you would expect them to seek inspiration from teams sitting above them in the table. On the other hand, Red Bull has won the last two championships and is at the forefront of car design. You would expect them to be the ones setting the pace for new F1 cars and not needing to copy or seek inspiration from other teams, especially after the dominant performance of the RB18. Well, not entirely, with the team now looking to have sought inspiration from two of its closest competitors. And with the noise coming out of Mercedes and Ferrari that they have found an extra 10 and 30 horsepower respectively, Red Bull will need every trick in the book to beat them after they had to serve their budget cap breach penalty. In a recent secret shakedown at Silverstone, Max Verstappen had this to say about the car. "I've just driven the RB19 for the first time. It was a good first impression. Everything worked really well. Everything went really smooth, so that's exactly what you want from a day like this. And I'm now, of course, very excited to go to Bahrain." This shakedown has also allowed fans to draw some conclusions about the new RB19, with the team releasing a short video of the new car and a couple of spy shots coming to light. At this point, let us dive into what they tell us about the Red Bull car. Mercedes have come under fire for their zero-pod design, but the German team may have been onto something, with the leaked RB19 not having no side pods, but clearly there has been a change in the car design, with the side pods being noticeably flatter. This goes along with a full-length undercut below the side pod and a downwash top surface. The air intake design also resembles the Mercedes air intake. Now, the Mercedes car was a disaster, plagued by porpoising and unable to challenge. But could Newey's engineering wizardry have unlocked the potential in the zero-pod design? Only time will tell. If done right, it should help with the overall airflow of the car. Red Bull has also taken a note out of Ferrari's book, the front wing of the car with a slightly raised wider nose tip and a center-loaded wing. This change looks to combat the understeer that the car suffered from in 2022, While the tyres could be to blame for this lack of front-end confidence, you can bet Adrian Newey will be working hard to ensure this is not the case in 2023. At this point in the season, these media releases should be taken with a pinch of salt, as teams can change their cars from now until the pre-season testing, which is the custom in F1 to keep your competitors guessing your next move. This season, pre-season testing is the shortest in F1 history, with the teams allowed only 3 days per team. With this being the case, the teams will need to use all their time to test the cars, and these 100-kilometer runouts could be precious, as teams won't have the time to switch and change fake body parts. Only time will tell if this is the real RB19, but if it is, we're in for an interesting season. And to win the Constructors and Drivers' Championship, you need to have 2 competitive drivers that want to win every race. And the pair that Red Bull have is precisely that. Sergio and Max have been great for Red Bull. With Daniel now as a reserve driver, Red Bull is in good stead. Co-drivers don't have to get on to get the team to win. F1 is full of co-drivers who are not exactly best friends. We also witnessed this at the end of last season with the very public fallout of Max and Sergio taking center stage. But this looks to be water under the bridge, and Red Bull is moving forward. Sergio was asked if he has developed on his issues of last year that saw him fall away from second in the Driver Championship. Yes, certainly there are things that we are going to work on. We believe that the car is already going to be better. I've been pushing the team in a certain direction. We believe we're heading in that direction. But we'll see. Once we get the car, it's all about adapting ourselves to the car and to try to maximize it. There is always a raging debate in the drivers' paddocks, particularly around whether the car is designed around a specific driver preference or whether the engineers are developing one team member's car more than the other. I don't think this is the case at Red Bull, as both drivers' cars were equally as powerful, but Sergio has said he has tried to push the car in a specific direction with the car. Learning from the mistakes we did, I think sometimes we took the wrong direction with the setup, and that's very important for us to understand. I think we figured out towards the end of the season what we were doing with the car, so that's been crucial for us, and I think we are heading in the right direction with it. And hopefully the right direction suits Max as well, because we don't need fireworks at Red Bull anymore. I guess if not, we could see the return of the Honey Badger. Now, Aston Martin have been accused of copying Red Bull in the past, but it now looks like the team could be the one to watch in 2023, with Horner having this to say about the Silverstone-based team. Alpine made progress in the second half of the year, Horner told Automotor and Sport. Aston Martin, we keep hearing big numbers coming out of there in their expectations. You just don't know in terms of what the running order will be. But McLaren maybe even will get it together this year, so inevitably the grid should, with stable regulations, start to close up. It will be interesting to see what Stroll and the team have up their sleeve for this season. What do you think of the Red Bull car? Comment below.